when you're first starting out, the way to select a kettlebell is first and foremost to make sure you have a really good quality kettlebell. So the kettlebells I have here are Kettlebell Kings brand. What I like about these is they're hollow cast, which means they've got this hole in the bottom, and that means that the weight is going to be more balanced and it's going to be more accurate in terms of what it says on the bell is really the weight of the kettlebell. Once you know that you're choosing a quality product, you're going to have to decide what weight to get. So if you're first starting out, I would recommend for women getting either an 8 kilo bell or a 12 kilo bell, which is about 18 pounds or 26 pounds. And for men, I would recommend getting either a 12 kilo bell or a 16 kilo bell. So either 26 pounds or 35 pounds. And that's really going to be a great place to start so that you can utilize the kettlebell for a range of movements and you can get a great workout with just one or two different weights. So before you start your workout with the kettlebell, it's good to go through a body weight warm-up. So if you're trying to figure out what to do in order to warm up to lift kettlebells, I would say first and foremost, start off with something that's going to get your heart rate up and start to get you sweating just for a few minutes. So that could either be jogging, biking, it could be doing high knees in place, it could be doing jumping jacks, just something easy, dynamic that's going to start to get you warm, start to get the body primed. Once you've done that, it's great to run through some body weight exercise of what you're going to be doing with the kettlebell. So for example, if you're going to be squatting holding a kettlebell, it's great to do some body weight squats just to start to get the legs warmed up. Okay? Then what we want to learn first and foremost with the bells is how to pick them up safely. And really what this means is learning how to do the kettlebell deadlift. So the deadlift would be really the first most basic movement that I would teach anybody when they're starting to learn how to lift kettlebells. And what a deadlift really is what we call a hinge movement. Hinging means that you're creasing at your hips with a slight bend in the knees and keeping your back flat. So when you're learning how to do this, you want to think about maintaining a neutral spine position. So as opposed to rounding your back to pick something up, we're going to think about pulling the belly button in and keeping a flat back in order to pick something up. So I want to make sure that my tailbone is not tucked underneath, but I'm pushing my tailbone out and my back stays in this nice flat position. And once I've kind of got that movement pattern down, here, hinging forward and straightening up, that's essentially just what I'm going to do in order to lift a kettlebell weight safely. So we always want to make sure that the kettlebell is right in between the feet, so we keep the weight close, very close to the body. The farther out the weight is, the more weight that's going to place on your lower back. So as long as the kettlebell is between the feet, we've got it in a perfect position to start. So from here, you want to make sure that you set yourself up in that hinged position, flat back, and really we're picking up the weight with our legs. So we're pushing the ground away as we hold on to the kettlebell to lift it up to the top. So when I'm doing this lift, I'm mostly going to feel the weight of the kettlebell in my hamstrings and my glute muscles. So again, you're going to feel that by really pushing those hips back as opposed to keeping your chest up this way is going to be a little heavier on the lower back. So starting with those hips back and then driving up from the floor. This is going to be your most basic kettlebell exercise, and that's how you want to pick up the weight to make sure to protect your lower back. So for this workout, it should take you less than 30 minutes to complete. You're going to do 30-second timed intervals of 4 different movements. The kettlebell deadlift, the kettlebell 2-arm clean, a goblet squat, and then an overhead press. Once you've completed 2 or 3 rounds of that, depends on your fitness level, then you're going to combine those 4 movements to do a little kettlebell flow, doing 1 repetition of each exercise and repeating. You can set a clock. I would recommend just try 1 minute, keep moving through that flow of 4 exercises, and then if you want to try it again, you can do 2 or 3 more sets. So for this basic kettlebell routine, all it requires is 1 kettlebell. There's not a lot of technique involved. There's just one of the movements that's a little bit more advanced, but really they're all fairly basic. So the first movement you're going to do is going to be the kettlebell deadlift. So for the kettlebell deadlift, we want to make sure to keep the back flat, hinge at the hips, slight bend in the knees so you feel your hamstrings and your glutes. You're going to grab hold of the kettlebell, engage your upper back by pulling your shoulders down and away from your ears, and then standing tall. You really should feel a lot of the legs working to bring the weight up. So we'll tap the ground, push the floor away. Okay, so that would be movement number 1. You can easily go for a 30-second time set and just do as many repetitions as you can complete with good form. Our next movement, this one, tiny bit more challenging, but essentially what you're going to do is use your deadlift, stand up a little quicker, and then re-grip the kettlebell handle. So it's called a 2-arm clean. What you're going to do is you're going to start like your deadlift. You're going to push the floor away, and then you're going to grab hold of the side of the handles. Then you're just going to let it come right back down to the floor, making sure the back is flat. Okay. That one again, we can go 30 seconds, get as many repetitions as you can with good form. Remembering on this one that we're really driving from the legs, the kettlebell is just floating up, and then we're re-gripping it. So we don't really need to pull it with the arms, just think legs push and catch with the arms. Movement number 3 is going to be our kettlebell squat or goblet squat. So for this movement, you'll use your 2-arm clean to set yourself up here, and then you're going to sink down into a squat. You can just go to whatever range of motion that's possible for you. I think about letting my elbows tap the inside of my knees if possible. When you're done, simply setting it back down to the ground. 30 seconds, quality reps, and keep moving throughout the timed interval. Then the last one we're going to do is a press overhead. So for this one, again, set yourself up, use that 2-arm clean, and then you're going to press that kettlebell up, straighten the arms at the top. Complete as many as you can in 30 seconds, making sure that the elbows are straight at the top position. Once you've completed that, you can go through 30 seconds of each for 2 or 3 rounds. And then if you want, you can kind of string the movements together. So the fun part about kettlebells is that you can kind of make a sequence of movements and flow from one to the next. So you can utilize all the movements we just did and make it kind of a whole flowing series. So essentially you would do 1 repetition of each and then continue moving. You can set a clock for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and really get your heart rate up. So I'll show you a few repetitions here. We'll combine 1 deadlift, 1 2-arm clean, 1 squat, 1 press, and then we'll start again. 1 deadlift, 1 2-arm clean, 1 squat, 1 press. And combine those together, really gives you a great combination of cardio and strength just in one workout, and should take you less than 30 minutes to complete. If you want more free kettlebell workouts from me, you can check out my YouTube channel. You can find me there if you search KB Fit Britt in YouTube. The channel's under my name, Brittany van Schravendijk, so you can find me there, and there's tons of free kettlebell workouts that you can use to expand your kettlebell training.